Now, this basically is the activities that we have talked about last week. The exact same thing needs to be done. So we are going to basically just mention them really quick since we have reviewed them last week. And that is Tawaf al-Hajj or Tawaf al-Ifada. Basically, we are going to do that. However, remember that we said while coming back, it is if you want to choose to take off your ihram, you can go ahead and shave or cut your hair. So you have done the stoning, the slaughter is being done on your behalf, and then you do the shaving of hair, which is highly recommended for all men to shave their hair. If you choose not to shave your hair and you choose the option of cutting the hair, as we mentioned last week, it needs to be a full haircut. You cannot just, as some people say, go to the hotel's bathroom and just get a little bit here and a little bit here. You cannot. It has to be a full haircut from all over your hair. And for the sisters, it needs to be a straight line. Like if, for example, from the back of their hair, if that's the straight line, they take as this finger joint, this length. They take basically, they cut straight line from the bottom of their hair. So now, let's assume that you've done the stoning, the slaughter, and you've done the hair shave or the haircut. Now you've got 3 out of the 4. Can you take off your ihram? Yes, and you are in a temporary hill now. So you can go back to take shower, get your comfortable clothes on so you can go to the haram if you want. If you want to proceed with your ihram, that's fine. So now you are coming and to start exactly as we mentioned last week. You're going to start from the black stone. This is where you're going to start your tawaf. However, there is something here today that you do not need to do during the tawaf that you did in the umrah. And that basically has to do only with the brothers. And that is, what's the thing that you don't need to do? Ramal you don't need, so you don't need to jog the first 3 rounds. What else? The exposing the shoulder, the iltiba', you do not need to do on this tawaf. So basically you don't need to do this jogging, and you don't need to expose your shoulder on this tawaf. That's different than what we talked about the tawaf or the umrah. So you're going to start from the black stone. As we said, it's again extremely crowded, so we're not going to be able to go and physically touch. So from far distance, you're going to wave your hand and say Allahu Akbar or Bismillah Allahu Akbar, and you're going to start your first tawaf. And you're going to do the first round, and when you get to the Yamani corner, this is where you're going to start the special. The Yamani corner, of course, the sunnah for you to touch it only, no kissing or anything. However, most of the time you will not be able to touch it because of the crowd. So again, you do not need to wave your hand, and you should not be doing it because that's not the black stone. But what you need to do when you get to it is between this corner and between this corner, we talked about the special dua, and that is what? رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. So now, you do the first round, second round, third round. Every time you come to the black stone, you wave and you do the same thing, Allahu Akbar, and you keep going and going until you do, now you are in the 7th round. And you go round, you get to the Yamani corner, same thing, every round is رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Now you are about to finish your 7th. So when you get to the black stone, you do not start a new tawaf. You do not say Bismillah Allahu Akbar or Allahu Akbar and start your 8th. You're finished, right? So all you need to do is to keep proceeding and going outwards, basically outskirts of Kaaba, outskirts of the Haram or the plate, and you go out comfortably and without pushing or really forcing people, and do not go in the opposite way of the traffic, but rather you start walking gradually out, out, out. So you can come in an area here, which you can pray the 2 rak'ahs. While you're going out, you're going to do the same thing by saying, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah, in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah. Then you are going to basically align yourself between you and the Kaaba. You will have Maqam Ibrahim in between. So you can just align yourself and pray 2 rak'ahs. The first rak'ah will have Surah Al-Ma'un, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. The second rak'ah, Surah Al-Ikhlas, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. You pray those 2 rak'ahs, and you basically drink Zamzam, and you get abundance of the water of Zamzam, drinking and putting it on your body and on your hair, on your head, and inshallah ta'ala proceed to the sa'i, as we did exactly in the Umrah. So exactly we do the exact same thing in the sa'i. You start with the Safa, you do the same rituals facing the Kaaba and making the special dua, and then you proceed with your first round. When you get to the green light, you start jogging until you get to the second light, and that is only for the brothers. The sisters just keep walking normally, and you can go until you get to the mount area, Marwa area. The Marwa Mount, Marwa Mount, the mountain, and you do the same thing. You stop to the corner, you face the Kaaba, and you do the special dua, and you proceed. This is considered to be 1. This path is 1. When you come back, that's 2. Then 3, 4, 5, 6, and you do the exact same thing. So the 7th would end here and on the Mount of Marwa. So this is where you go back and then basically exit the structure of sa'i. Now, with the new structure, you have different levels of sa'i. The ground level, the basement level, the ground level, the original level, the second level, and of course, the top level. When we do the Umrah together as a group, we're going to do them together so you can know exactly the ins and outs, exactly get familiar, oriented with the place, whatever. And on this day, most of the time, we will not do it in a group because each one of us have different schedule. That's why you need to get oriented on during Umrah what to do exactly. Here, most of the time when you're on your own, you do it much faster.